because I know we are extremely tight on time. Welcome everyone to tonight's November 10th meeting of the Select Board, special meeting of the Select Board. We have a very limited window as Westwood Media Center has a prior commitment with one of the school facilities forums, and so we have until 6:25. We have a hard stop at 6:25. So pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023 and amended on March 28th of 2025, Governor Moore Healy signed into law an act extending pandemic-related authorizations related to public meetings, allowing remote meeting options for public bodies through June 30th of 2027. This meeting will be conducted via remote participation by the board, and members of the public who wish to access the meeting, where you can access by using the webinar link that is in the public meeting notice. And I'm going to give permission to Westwood Media Center to record this meeting. I'm going to welcome our friend, Mr. Bernie Lynch from Community Paradigm, who has helped us with our town administrator search. And I see there are a few of our esteemed members of the screening committee as well who are in attendance today. So Bernie, with that, I will allow you and Jack to take it away because, as I said, we have a hard stop at 6:25. If we don't get to anything, Joe, Marianne, for if we get a little squeezed on time, because I do want to make sure we get Bernie his time, we can postpone any other conversation to our Sunday night meeting. And just so people are aware, tonight, we will be announcing the finalists for the town administrator search. And on Thursday night, my colleagues and I will be conducting interviews at the Gillette Meeting Room, beginning at what time, Tish? 5:30, I believe. 5:30.
Yeah.
And then we will take a couple of days individually to ponder what we heard in our interviews. And then on Sunday night, we will reconvene at 7 p.m. to deliberate as a body and make an announcement as to our selection. So with that, Bernie, take it away.
Well, thank you. Great to be with everyone here again tonight. And of course, this is the night that I'm sure everybody has been waiting for to see who are the finalists that the screening committee has presented to you. Can I be made a co-host so that I can share a document?
You should be able to share.
Okay, great. Thank you. I just have a short PowerPoint here that I just want to show to help guide us through this this process. Bear with me for one more second here. Okay. So, sorry. Okay. So we're here tonight to present to you the town administrative finalists. As I pointed out a couple of weeks ago when we met, we went through the whole process that the screening committee used in terms of reviewing the resumes of all that had applied for the position. I explained the process we used to get those people and the work that we did prior to even beginning this actual search to identify the issues facing the town that were most important to the stakeholders, being the community, the department heads, and of course, the select board. We have emailed to all of you, as well as to the executive function group, because they're going to be meeting with the finalists, and to the screening committee, a finalist report. And you should have that now. It was sent out within the last 5 or 10 minutes, which includes for each one of the 3 finalists, a cover letter that they submitted with their materials, a resume that outlines their experience, their education. We also asked, a little bit different than something we've done in the past. We did this as at a request of the board members. We asked for some video links so that you could, prior to the interview and following the interviews, actually go off and see what they've done in their prior communities, their prior positions. You get a sense of how they communicate and the type of projects that they've worked on. And then we have the reference summaries. And these are 3 page, I think for each one of the candidates, there are 3 pages summarizing the comments that we received from the references that they provided to us. We've done background checks on all of them in terms of identifying any issues that they have, and we're happy to talk to board members offline about anything that they're concerned about or issues that come up. But what we did is we spoke to each one of their references. We spend, I try to stress this whenever we present what we do and then present the candidates. We spend with the screening committee about an hour to an hour and a half with each one of the candidates in an interview. We actually spend almost an equivalent amount of time with each reference that they give us. So in this case, we have they've each given us 5 or 6 people to talk to. We have spent with each one of those individuals an hour or so, to talk to them about the candidate. So those 3 pages for each one of the candidates provides you with the feedback that we've received over roughly 5 hours of conversations that we've had, trying to really get a handle on who these candidates are as it relates to this position and as it relates to their prior positions and how they all mesh together. An issue that I want to just touch upon quickly, because I know time is of the essence here, and this is revisiting what we talked about a couple of weeks ago. We explored a variety of topics with the candidates, with the screening committee. We're really focused on the top priorities that were identified to us by the select board, by the members of the community, by the employees, and by the department heads. And these were the priority issues: facility projects. The town was identified to us, has a number of facility projects that are outstanding: schools, obviously the fire station, other projects that are ongoing regarding the infrastructure that needs to be maintained, upgraded, or new facilities presented. So we wanted to talk to them about how they've managed facilities, community engagement and communication, internal and external. We heard this from the internal people. They want someone that communicates with them on a regular basis. And we certainly heard that community engagement is a priority within the town. And this is something that we hear in many towns, cities that we work with, but it was a real priority in Westwood. Management and support of staff, especially the senior staff, was important feedback from the executive function group. How do they work with staff? How do they communicate? How do they allow those and really engage those members of the staff and empower those members of the staff? Financial acumen. Every municipality in Massachusetts right now is struggling with finances to some degree or another. Westwood has some financial issues that need to be addressed, particularly in light of the constraints of Proposition 2.5, the facility projects, and ongoing service provision. And then sort of ties in with how you deal with those financial issues and how you deal with facilities is the opportunities for economic development. So we wanted to talk to each one of the candidates about that in the screening committee. And I think when we talk about these candidates in a moment, you'll see that all of them have some experience in these areas. So, sorry, some reason I apologize.
That's okay. While you're getting reorganized with the PowerPoint, Jack, talk for a moment about the members of the screening committee and what their overall experience was in terms of interacting with the candidates as well as with each other as part of this process.
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Rob. I would compliment you on you selected an outstanding group of people for this steering committee. I think and I would imagine the selection process featured this notion that we should pick people capable of doing this who have a deep and diverse experience in the town and with the various functions of the town. So we had planning board people, school committee people, finance commission people, former selectmen, and so forth. So there's no question that the members of the committee had a very good sense of what the town would be looking for in a new town administrator. And I can assure you that each and every one of them took their responsibility very seriously, I think we would all agree that they did an excellent job in selecting the finalists.
Hey, we're now after that pause that I in my PowerPoint, we're ready to go to the dramatic part of the evening, the announcement of the three names. These are in alphabetical order. The first is Brian Golden. Brian has a law degree from
I'm going
William
to
and
guess
Mary
Bernie
Law
is
School.
frozen.
Oh,
Jack, your video is frozen, but your audio is not. So if you would mute yourself, that'd be great.
okay. Am I on?
You're good, Barney.
Okay, great. Brian Golden is a law degree from William and Mary Law School, Master of Strategic Studies from the U.S. Army War College, and a BA in Government from Harvard University. His experience, he's currently practicing law. He had been with Keegan Werlin. He's now out on his own, focusing on real estate development, disposition of public lands, and providing planning advice to municipalities. His most notable position, though, was as a director and executive director of the Boston Planning and Development Agency, formerly known as the Boston Redevelopment Authority. He was there in that position, I believe, the longest of any BRA or Planning Development Agency executive director. He had a staff of 250 professionals in that organization, a budget of 75 million. But importantly for us, in terms of facilities, he managed 20 million square feet of agency-owned property, which had to be maintained on a regular basis with investments and improvements. He also was involved with the development of 100 million square feet of properties within the city of Boston during that period of time. During that time, they also conducted a new general city plan, the first one since the 1960s, which was based upon a high level of community engagement. So we think or the committee felt that was what he brought to the table based upon that was a real experience in management, facilities, finance, community engagement, and obviously economic development. Prior to that, he served in the U.S. Army for 30 years. You can see actually there's an overlap there. He was in an active and reserve capacity.
Bernie, if I can stop you right there real quick. On the
Sure.
eve of Veterans Day, I'd just like to say, Colonel Golden, if you're watching, thank you very much for your service and leadership, and we look forward to meeting you in person.
Great, great catch. Thank you very much. Uh, He had served a couple other positions, just of note. He served as the New England Regional Director for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services for 2 years, that's 7 through 9. He was a commissioner with the Mass Department of Telecommunications and Energy for 2 years, '05 through '07. A member of the Federal Home Loan Bank, is serving on the board of directors from 2002 to 2005. And he was also a member of the state legislature, as a state representative from '99 through 2005. So I just wanted to hit on those positions he has held. Obviously, comes with a great deal of experience in a variety of areas. The screening committee believed him to be a good candidate for you to talk to and discuss the issues of Westwood and how his experience meshes with what Westwood needs at this particular point in this particular time. The second candidate that I wanted to talk about is, again, in alphabetical order, is Joseph Powers. Joe has a master's degree from Emerson College in communication studies and a degree in political science with a minor in public administration from UMass Boston. Joe, as I'm sure will quickly tell you when he meets with you on Thursday evening, is a municipal junkie. And his degree from UMass really mirrors that interest that he has in local government. Most recently, he served as the town administrator of Harwich. Previously, he did that from 2021 through 2025. He is no longer working with the town of Harwich. And he had served as the assistant town administrator and the interim town administrator from 19 through 21. In his capacity, he managed over 300 employees, 22 different departments. Collective bargaining is certainly in his wheelhouse, having negotiated agreements with 8 different collective bargaining organizations. He has experience in finance and was able to secure the town's and retain the town's bond rating of AAA on 2 occasions in 22 and 24. Substantial experience in procurement, and as well as financial management for the purposes of capital investments. The largest project taking place in Harwich, like a number of Cape communities, is wastewater projects, which are substantial on the Cape as they deal with those issues of water quality. And he has managed through all of that. So those are some of the highlights of his time in Harwich, and obviously he's going to be making a case as well for, in addition to that, what was able to accomplish in Harwich. In Wellfleet, he served as town clerk and assistant town administrator from 2014 to 2019. The assistant position he held more towards the latter part of that period. And in Braintree, he served 5 years as the town clerk and registrar. He also has experience working with the Bank of New York Mellon from 2006 to 2009, where he served as a communications manager for asset servicing. So he has a substantial amount of municipal experience, as well as this private sector experience that I mentioned. And again, hits upon many of the issues that the town of Westwood is looking at and facing right now that I identified at the outset. The third candidate is Connor Reed. Connor has a master's degree in public administration from Bridgewater State. He has a BA in political science from UMass Dartmouth. He's currently the town administrator of Easton, a position that he has held since January of 17, so coming up on 8 years, coming up on 9 years in that position as we near January of 26. In that position, he has a record of accomplishment in a number of different areas that tie to the town of Westwood. He has secured voter approval of $250 million of facilities debt exclusions, including an elementary school, a police station, fire station, and public works facilities. He's also led projects with water treatment plant construction for PFAS. Received grants for $60 million in grants for infrastructure, facilities, planning, housing, and environmental preservation. A $20 million wastewater expansion, $20 million in transportation improvements. He's been involved in a number of regionalization efforts as they're looking to modernize their municipal services. In terms of his municipal finance background, they've received the GFOA Distinguished Budget Award on several occasions. They have improved the overall financial condition of the community by growing their cash reserves from 5 million to 12 million and achieved the 10% reserve fund ratio that communities look to achieve. The collective bargaining, again, in a number of different areas that he will be able to speak to, as well as a variety of housing and economic development projects in their downtown area, their 40B and 3A compliance, as well as infrastructure improvements designed to maximize economic development in certain areas of the community that have been identified as priorities. Stakeholder engagement and consensus building is also a priority with the town of Westwood, and also something that he's achieved there through the establishment of a Citizens Academy, as well as the community engagement that's taking place with the projects that I've noted. And again, I'm trying to highlight different areas that I know each of them will be bringing forth as well. Prior to serving as town administrator, he was the assistant town administrator for 2 years. And during that period of time, he also served as the acting town clerk. And in fact, for a period of time, he was the acting town clerk, the assistant town administrator, and the interim town administrator, wearing 3 different hats during that period of 16 and 17. He began his municipal career in Easton in 2012, serving as a citizen business advocate or an ombudsman role, working with citizens and businesses that had interactions with the town that needed someone to sort of work through the regulatory process with them. So he's been in Easton now for coming up on 13 years, if not already at 13 years, and serving in a variety of roles, but has a record of accomplishment in the town of Easton. Prior to that, following his time at UMass Dartmouth, he did work for Fellowship Health Resources as a recovery advocate for a year before joining up with the town of Easton. So those are your three candidates. Again, I think you will find that you have outstanding candidates to talk to with records of accomplishment and experiences that tie directly to what you're looking for in the town of Westwood. And I know that the screening committee was very pleased with being able to present these candidates to you. The next steps are that we're having meetings with the executive function group on the 12th and the 13th to have the department heads have an opportunity to meet and interact with these three candidates having the opportunity to ask questions of the candidates as well as have the candidates ask questions of them in order to ensure the proper fit. So we'll be spending some time doing that. Your interviews on the 13th, those 2 days of deliberation that you'll be doing on your own. During that period of time, and I should note even before then, as you're looking at those materials tonight, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm available for discussion and conversations. Following that, during your select board member deliberation period, I'm happy to, again, be available to you to arrange any one-on-ones with the candidates and help you gather the information that you need. And then, of course, you'll be making your selection at 7 p.m. on November 16th. And I will be joining you at that meeting as well to provide any assistance that I can as you try to reach your decision. And then, obviously, the employment agreement negotiations would commence following that. So,
Thank you, Bernie. I'm just going to cut you just because I
yeah,
see we have a very short period of time. So thank you for the very thorough vetting that you and the screening committee did. Um, Jack, I would love at some point just looking at and listening to all of the different qualifications and some of the past roles and things that others have done. I'd be fascinated to get together with the screening committee to say, okay, these are the three that we're going to see and meet with. There's some things that I'm looking forward to asking follow-up questions on Thursday night, as I imagine my colleagues are. But I would love to also be able to pick your brains on what other things might you have heard from other candidates that you thought were really interesting that we might benefit from considering as we move forward. So that would be something that would be a follow-on to all of this because I think there's probably value in the many discussions that you all did have with so many candidates.
I would guess that they would be willing to do that.
Excellent. Um, Joe, Marianne, do you have questions at all for Bernie at this point?
I do not at this point, but I do want to thank you again, Bernie, for the extensive work and assistance. And Jack, thank you for your leadership again and for everyone who served on the screening committee. Such important work, time consuming and very important. So thank you very much. These are outstanding candidates from what I've just learned. And I look forward to digging into the materials we've been sent. Thank you.
And Bernie, that was a great synopsis, and you did it under the gun of the time constraint. Well, very well done.
Thank you.
Jack, as always, you do an outstanding job, and please thank the committee. I know you folks put a lot of time into it. We all very much appreciate what you and the others have done. So thank you so much for your service to the town. Outstanding work. Outstanding.
Joe, I also want to thank you. It's my understanding that the suggestion of some video links as samples of how folks interact was a suggestion of yours. So I really think that was a great ad, and I'm looking forward to clicking on and watching each of those. So thank you for that thoughtful addition.
Rob, you did it. Strong work.
Well, that didn't leave us a whole lot of time for other things. And I know we wanted to begin our discussions about appointees for the FS1 steering committee. I think let's table that discussion till we have more time available to us on Sunday night. And just for everyone's background, we are going to be losing Joe for a couple of weeks as far as these meetings go, for his own personal reasons, and for something that had been previously scheduled out in December. It got scheduled into November. And so that is why this timeline has advanced the way it has, just in case there was anyone with any questions with respect to that. So with that, Bernie, Jack, thank you very much. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone, for tuning in. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn after thanking my colleagues for the compressed time frame for this very major task. So thank you so much. And again, I'll make the motion to adjourn, Rob.
No worries, Joe. And I second that.
All right, roll call. Joe,
Aye.
Marianne,
Aye.
and I vote aye as well. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night,
Thank you.
and we will see you on Thursday.